Hey everybody, thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Eric Rizk, and today we have Mutilation Barbecue. How you doing?
Yo.
Okay, so I see that Peter's got his own name thing. He's on his own. But for the rest of you guys, tell us who you are and what you do.
All right, so I guess we'll go from the right. So
okay, my name's Dylan. I play big guitar,
Bass.
I'm Harrison. I play the drums.
I'm Chris. I do vocals.
I'm Nick. I play lead guitar / rhythm.
I'm Peter. I play I guess rhythm guitar. I have some solos. I guess we both play lead and rhythm.
I feel like a lot of bands do that, and like, you know, they switch. Like I was in a band, and both guitarists switched leads. They would never.
Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes with the mix. It's like sometimes I feel like it'd be easier to just
like Peter has a different form of soloing as well as me, so we're kind of combining everything we can together and makes the music stand out a little more.
Yeah, for sure. Because you have like your Eddie Van Halen solos, and he has his fucking deathcore. I don't know.
deathcore solos. That's how you describe my guitar solos.
I'm not even sure what a death
solo would be. Like not a compliment. I'm really not into that. I have to go rework how I do everything.
Okay.
I like deathcore, but like aren't even guitar solos in deathcore, so
not known for their guitar.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. There's some crazy shit in Fit for an Autopsy. That's true. More into like Slayer solos.
Okay, this is already getting off the tracks. So let's talk about the Maggot Stomp thing that happened recently. Why don't you just tell us how that got hooked up and how that came about?
Okay, so like, you know, with Maggot Stomp, we've always had like a link with him because we're good friends with the 200 Stab Wounds guys, who, you know, is like one of Maggot Stomp's biggest bands. And we were trying to get on there when we released our EP. We were trying to see if Maggot Stomp would do it. But he hit us up around like December last year. And he was like, okay, do you guys want to like record a single or something that I can put out? And we were 100% down to do it. And that's how we basically came into the Maggot Stomp roster with Abortion Ambulance. And we did the cover of Obituary Dying as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to before we went like lower tuning and all that jazz, we actually sent him like this like thrash track, and like he completely was like, yeah, hell no, like what are you talking about? So we were like, all right, let's tune. Then you know, we made the EP, and you know, he liked it, so it all worked out in the end. Fortunately,
Super stoked about it.
yeah, like complete. Like we're all nerds about Maggot Stomp too, so it's like it's honestly really sick.
It's funny you say nerds because that label's all about thinking stupid.
Yeah, we're dumb nerds.
Geek.
For sure.
I prefer geek, but nerds. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that 7-inch already sold out, right? Are you going to repress any more, or is that up to Scott, or what's the deal with that?
The lathe cuts, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a repress of that. I think that was supposed to be like a limited thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be limited. I'm not. Really
But we're gonna get. We should be getting a few of them, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get some lathe cuts personally. We're also getting some vinyls. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a repress of those lathe cuts. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, bros.
Because I'm the one who runs the Facebook, and those lathe cuts dropped when I was in the middle of work, so I couldn't post it on the Facebook, and I feel horrible about that. They sold out before I could even post it.
Yeah.
So your own fans got screwed, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, all the Facebook fans.
The Facebook head.
If you're on Facebook and that's like your main thing, you got fucked.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, no.
You're like Chris.
Yeah,
No, Chris wishes he was on MySpace. That's what he really wants.
Ah.
Yeah, don't.
Not even
I think
kidding.
that's gonna be a trend eventually. Yeah, go back with older social media. Soon Friendster will make a resurgence.
Oh my God, Friendster.
Friendster.
I don't know anything about Friendster. So Chris, I know you go by Chris Maggot. Is there's no correlation there, or is there a correlation?
There's no correlation.
He's a wannabe.
I just go by Maggot because I would rather have like a stage name, just have like more of a. And I've always thought maggots were like the coolest insects because they literally eat dead bodies, and I think that is cool as hell.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
That's pretty metal, I guess, right?
Yeah, dude.
Not metal.
Yeah, no, not metal at all.
Yeah, I was gonna tell a funny story about, because I was listening, through your stuff, and I don't think anywhere does it say, and you kind of ruined the end of my story, but nowhere on the page does it say it's a cover tune. So I'm listening to this, and like as I'm listening to the song "Dying," I'm like, I kind of know where all these riffs are going. I'm like, this sounds like way familiar, and I'm like, I don't hear the Obituary influence on other stuff, but like they are trying to be Obituary so hard with this one tune.
Yeah, we really were.
Yeah, and then of course I after the second time I listened to it, I was like, oh wait a second, like what the like this? Okay, I got it now, and I'm being fucking stupid because like
It is Obituary.
yeah, I used to listen to Cause of Death like probably every day for 5 years, and then I guess it dropped out of rotation. I haven't listened to it in a while, but like that album Cause of Death was such a huge thing for me when it came out. In particular, I think because they took up the mantle where Celtic Frost sort of like dropped it, unfortunately, for a number of years. So I sort of felt like I had to break up with them, and then like Obituary was like my new love. So there's definitely a special place in my heart for that album in particular.
Yeah, and we didn't want to like screw up a Obituary cover too, so we figured like Dying would be cool because like we could still keep the roots of like Obituary, but we could still add our own like little twist to it and just like play with it. And it turned out awesome. I'm glad that we were able to like put our little mark on it, I guess. So.
And if it makes you feel any better, people have actually thought that was an original song by us. So
yeah.
Well,
they're like
worse things. I don't know. I would be tempted to just go with it. I mean, like, yeah, that's.
They're like, why is there not that many vocals in it? And we're like, well, because that's how it was written. They're like, yeah, why? Like, why did you write it that way? We didn't, man.
I fell asleep in the studio.
Yeah, to me, that means that we did like the cover successfully. We put enough of our own flavor into it to.
I mean, to me,
that it's our own song.
To me, what it means is that people don't actually listen to Obituary, even if they say they do, and then they go, "That's the actual reality." Because you would just know that it's a cover. I mean, Crit, you knew, it was just subconscious, but like.
Well, it just took me a second, but
yeah.
But it was,
no, like I just mean like that wasn't shade at you because
no.
You're saying like when people come up and like this is like sort of a tangent. I remember when I was in high school, I played in some punk bands and we did like a show, and everyone at my school liked OAR. Do you know that band? They're like a really lame, corny band. Sorry if you like them. And
I don't know that.
So we covered some like song by I think Title Fight. They're like a punk band, and we were like, my singer was like, yo, this song's by OAR. And then like the next day, some dude came up to us. He's like, yo, I love OAR. Like, what song was that? Like, that's such a sick OAR song. We're like, dude, like, first of all, clearly you don't like it. Like, we don't even like them. But like, I don't know. It's just funny. People just like expose themselves. Anyways,
was OAR a jam band? OAR, is that like a jam
band? Yeah. They used to like, I don't know. The school I went to, everyone was into like jam bands. So. Anyways, sorry, it's not related. I'm just saying, like, it's funny when people like ask you questions and you're like, "Yo, I don't know."
Yeah, no, it was definitely weird because I was like, I've never heard this song before, but I know what riff is coming next somehow.
Yeah, well, it's in B. It's also it's in a different tuning because Obituary plays, I think, in just D standard, and so we did it in B.
And you guys are tuned to B.
Mm-hmm. Was I not supposed to say that? Is that like
No,
secret sauce?
I'm always asking bands what they tune.
No, I'm looking at Nick. Like,
Oh,
oh, now everyone knows our tuning. Oh
is
no.
that a fucking? That should not be a secret. Like,
Yeah, no, it's super easy to figure out. If you know B, it just you hear it immediately. Anyways,
so now that you got the single out on Maggot Stomp, it looks like they must have worked out a deal with Gurgling Gore to do also now. Are they going to do the old EP as well?
Yeah, so Gurgling Gore is gonna do like this really cool special edition release, which I'm not gonna like say what the release is yet, but it's like very over the top, very like if you're a collector, you're gonna want it. So he's doing like a really cool repress of the cassette, and we're doing like some special packaging, and it's gonna come with a apron, maybe. But yeah, so we're gonna work something out with him, and I don't know how many releases we're gonna do with him still, like, but you know, we still want to work with him. He's an awesome dude. Like he was the first person to really give us like the opportunity to release our music on like a format like that. So yeah, like we definitely want to work with him more in the future, and he cares so much about all the bands that are on there. So it's just awesome to like work with him, and he throws us ideas that we never thought of. So it's really cool to hear his outlet and his views on, you know, what we should do.
Yeah, we had Big Daddy Gore on, which I just love saying that. It's the most fun name in metal as far as I'm concerned. But
we got the Gurgling Gore Pledge of Allegiance to death metal flag right here.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like with your Facebook debacle that people should probably follow Gurgling Gore on Instagram to find out the information as opposed to waiting for you guys to announce it.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I know he's an Instagram dude, not a Facebook dude, but
yep.
So there we go.
Same with Maggie Stomp.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the big question now. What's next?
Full LP.
Yeah.
Full length album.
It's gonna be heavy.
Yeah, we're in the works of an LP. It's pretty much already finished. We just need to record. We have all the material. So we just need to get to it, you know.
Yeah, we're trying to do 8 songs for the LP. We got like 6.5 right now, so it's getting there, but we want to take our time on it and make sure it's written well, and there's no pussy riffs thrown in anywhere. Like it needs to be heavy.
Okay, well I'm glad that you're cutting out the pussy riffs. That's good.
I want like 2
pussy riffs.
Yeah.
As much as you can have.
Yeah. Parkway Drive riffs.
We're gonna do some ambient stuff.
Yeah, I love ambient stuff. I got ambient shit. What are you talking about?
Are we instantly throwing incantation already?
No, we don't need to get in.
Probably midsummer.
I can't even tell what's going on anymore. Let's talk about how Peter lives in Connecticut and how that works.
Hell yeah. So it like barely works. No, I'm just kidding. It's just like basically what happens is like I'm just really tired all the time because I drive to Ohio. So like it's a funny story. So I started making like solo death metal music under the name Pale Gaze, and I just like really wanted to make metal music. I didn't ever have music recorded that was like music where I could really like, you know, solo over and like play in that style, which is usually when I'm at home, that's what I play. And then I heard the EP when it came out. So I think I followed 200 Stab Wounds. I think they posted it. I think that's like how I found it. And so I listened to it and I was just like really into specifically this one riff in the title track, Mutilation Barbecue. It was just like stuck in my head. So like I went home and I just like figured it out real quick on guitar and then recorded myself playing it. And I think I tagged the band.
Yeah.
And then Harrison, you probably are the one who messaged me because you're always on there, and you were just like, "Yo, like, that sucks that you live in Connecticut because like we need a guitar player that could like play with us." And for like a second, I was like, "Yeah, man, that sucks. Like, oh well." And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell them like, "Yo, I'll just like play the shows that you're like that you have booked. Like, I don't give a fuck." Like, I don't know. It was like right after the whole like things had just started kind of opening up after the pandemic, and I was in like a weird place. I was just like so ready to get out and play music again, and I was like, "Fuck it, like I'll go to Ohio. I literally don't give a fuck." And then at that point, I had already committed, so I was like, "Okay, well now I like have to do it." And then, but that made it fun because it was like just like wild.
So you're not on the first EP. You're only on the new.
Yeah, I'm not on the first EP because
Okay.
yeah, I heard it, and the first EP is just Nick, Harrison, and Chris.
Yep.
Okay,
Although
so
Dylan and I are on the vinyl release, our pictures are on it.
your picture's on the release. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like way more attractive looking release now, because we're on it. So
Yeah, it took me a while because I obviously I've said it before. I do like Metal Archives is probably like one of my biggest places that I go to research like who the fuck everybody is before I do the interviews, and so it was really super like it's listed as a 2-piece, but there's 5 people in the picture, and it's like hard to figure out.
yeah, yeah, we should probably just like get on there and just like make
Correct it
like,
yourself.
yeah, honestly, instead of waiting for people.
Yeah, it's not. Our Metal Archives is just a shit show.
Dude, yeah, it's kind of weird because like so for Pale Gaze, like I feel like mine, which I didn't do, is no one like usually you just find out you're on there, and like for some reason Mutilation Barbecues is like not that updated, but like I feel like there's way more of a presence with that band. But I remember like finding myself on it, and like someone just like took a picture of me playing like my guitar like over here like from one of my videos of me playing, and it's just like Peter Blanchet, and I was like, who the fuck like put this up here?
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, I had that was kind of like my introduction to Metal Archives. Because I told somebody I was in metal and I used to play in a band or whatever, and then within 2 minutes he knew more about my shit than like my former bandmates, and I was like, how the fuck did this happen? And of course that's where it's all coming from.
Yeah, actually, funny story about Metal Archives. Kind of like before I met everyone in the band, like I saw all you dudes on fucking Metal Archives. I think everyone except Harrison. I saw like Nick's picture. Like I don't know, you guys are just like on there. Do you even know that you're on there, Nick?
I didn't even
Dylan?
know that. Yeah.
Well, we played in Subtype prior to Mutilation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Nick and Harrison, it should be noted, they were in Subtype 0, which members of 200 Stab Wounds were also in that band. So that's like they go way back.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I did not know that or see that. Yeah, 200 Stab Wounds. I hit them up a couple times. I don't think I heard back. I kind of just figured they were on tour or whatever. But they're getting a lot of press now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like they did a tour with Obituary maybe or something.
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, they just did.
So sick. And then they're playing with.
Yeah, I mean they're just doing so well right now. So
yeah, so cool, and it inspires us so much too because like our best friends are like literally just like setting the example of like what we want to do. So it's really cool to like hear what they have to say about everything, and like they tell us about like what kind of area they are in their life with the band and everything. So it's kind of cool to just like take in all the information that they're telling us and just like do whatever with it, so it's cool.
Yeah, learn from it.
Yeah, it's hopefully they can get to a point at I feel like they're on their way, but I don't know exactly how big you need to get before you can actually make a living. I feel like it's pretty big. Like you need to get like there's no money in metal, so I feel like that's a pretty high thing to shoot for. But it seems like they're on their way.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very weird to think about like ways to somehow live on like one of the most extreme sides of music. But you know, it's cool. Like if you're able to make it work, then you know, make it work.
Yeah, and Peter,
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
Well, I guess what I'm kind of hoping for you is like, I mean, one of the silver linings of the pandemic is that everybody's learning how to work from home or learned how to work from home for 2 years. So I feel like now more than ever, it's possible to like just keep your job and move 2 states away or wherever, however many states away Connecticut and Ohio are.
Yeah, I mean, you know, jobs are real crazy too now. Hopefully my boss doesn't watch this. Be like, yo, you trying to move like tomorrow? But yeah, for sure. That's actually a really funny thing about the whole thing because like it's sort of like it just kind of worked out in that weird way, you know? Like I have like
Work from home, Peter, so it's like it makes it kind of easier like flexibility wise, I suppose. You know, since
right. Yeah. Even like if I need to like just peace out and head to Ohio like right after work, it's nice that I don't have to like drive home from work. I just like finish work and I'm like, all right, peace, and I go for the weekend, you know. Like it would be nicer to be closer though, for sure. And you know, TBD on that. We don't have to get into my home life and everything going on here, but
So how often are you guys playing shows now that things have sort of opened up a little bit?
Pretty frequently.
It's like every 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, yep.
That was like the scariest part for us because like we're not used to people like actually liking our own music. So it's like really cool that these people actually want us to like come out and play everywhere. So we're just like we just want like every single opportunity. Like we just want to ride the fucking wave, honestly. So
I feel like normally when you do that shit, you know, it's like you go all these places and you play all these shows, and you know when you're a smaller band just starting out, you don't really draw people. But every show we played has been a really fucking good turnout for us. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, for real.
We're also very excited to tour. A lot of us have never toured before, and that's like been like a big goal of ours. So you know we're touring in like almost like a month and a half.
It's like 6 weeks away, dude.
Yeah, it's very soon. We need to figure what the fuck we're doing for the van.
Yeah. Like we still need to figure out a van situation, but we're just, you know, we're psyched for everything.
Who are you going on tour with?
So we're going on tour with Gore, which is a Chicago like old school death metal band, and as well as a Ohio band called Hanging Fortress. And Gates to Hell, they're also going to be joining us on select dates.
Yeah, it's like a week. It's like a little over a week. It's like 2 weekends and like the week in between.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'll add those bands, the links to their Bandcamp stuff in the description if you're curious about that stuff.
Yeah, those bands are tight. Gordon Brace is fucking so sick. I love that band. Hanging Fortress too, Gates to Hell. They're all really good.
I feel like I've heard of Hanging Fortress, although I don't know them specifically.
Yeah, I mean they have a really sick band name. It kind of sounds like a band you've heard of, but you probably have heard them because they're tight. What label? Do we know what label is Hanging Fortress on?
I don't know if they're on a label, but I'm pretty sure Gordon Brace is on Desert Wasteland or Sewer.
Gordon Brace is on Sewer Rot. Yeah.
Sewer Rot. Okay.
Yeah, they're on Sewer
Rot. So we talked a little bit about how Peter joined the band, and I heard you guys talking about how you were in a band with the guys from 200 Stab Wounds, but how did it go from that band into the first 3-piece incarnation or
Yeah, so pretty much I just turned 18, so I'm a young kid, and I was in Subtype when I was 15 with this dude, and so pretty much like I had a falling off with Subtype because like I was literally like a sophomore in high school. So it was hard to like go to Missouri or like go to all these places and like my parents be cool with it, and I'm like 15 hanging out with like 23-year-old dudes. But like it was an awesome experience. It was like one of like the best experiences of my life, but it just wasn't able to work out at that time. So I wasn't able to pursue that because of some things, and then Nick, I don't know, like
I was still in the band with Subtype at that
Yeah.
point. But like he was my main dude at the time, so it was like really depressing, like playing shows without him and everything. It's like we thought we had it going for a bit.
right,
So that band just slowly kind of started to fall apart. I ended up leaving,
yeah,
and I linked back with him. And we were like, all right, we got to start something. So for like it took us like 2 years to finally come out with something that we thought was able to be
worthy,
out.
yeah. So yeah, this dude and I have been playing together since we're in like middle school, and Subtype was our first band that like was ever like shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like we were pretty much like we got all of our experience from that band, which, you know, led into Mutilation Barbecue and what it is now pretty much.
100%.
And what inspired you to call the band Mutilation Barbecue?
Oh, that's a fun story. So we had the name for the song Mutilation Barbecue. We were still thinking up of tons of band names we could have came up with. And then Harrison just out of nowhere is like, you know what, let's call our band Mutilation Barbecue. That's a hard-ass name. Yeah. And we were like, you know, we've been thinking on it for a while. Let's go with it. Let's shoot for it so we can be like,
Yeah. Cause like, why the fuck not, dude? Like, it's so dumb, but like, it's still so sick. Like,
Yeah, we were gonna have Retired from Death for our first band name. We had a few more, but it just didn't really.
Yeah,
cut it.
like
It wasn't as good as
Putrefy.
Mutilation Barbecue.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to forget that name, I think.
Yeah,
It is pretty over the top.
yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, you see Mutilation Barbecue, you're like, oh, what? What's this ass music? Then you hit it, and it's like some cool riffs, and you're like, oh, sick.
plus I am an actual, like, I've been like culinary trained. So I find it hilarious that I'm the front man of a band based solely around barbecue, which is my specialty when it comes to cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is that a coincidence? Probably not.
It was all planned to happen.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, plans of the universe, dude.
Astral one.
So the guy on the cover, is he a pig? He's got 4 arms. What's the deal with him?
So Porky, as I like to call him, he was thought up by the mind of Gruesome Graphics, the one who did the artwork for that.
Yeah.
That dude is so cool. I was the one who brought him up because I've always seen his artwork and I always loved his like cartoonish but brutal style. But he's always done like artwork for a lot of smaller like porno grind and slam bands and never really like anything that like really reached any sort of like hype. And I'm like, this man would fit perfectly if he did, you know, our artwork and our logo for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was the one that came up with the whole Porky guy, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that Porky dude, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm always never quite sure how I feel about metal mascots. I mean, I feel like everybody fucking grew up with like Eddie from Iron Maiden, and you know, and that was the thing. And then, but then it gets, you know, there's some that are just like stupid. But now I'm like, well, shit. Like if I was in Mutilation Barbecue, would Porky make a return? And I'm thinking he kind of has to at some point, right? Or am I?
I mean, maybe I've debated like just doing like stencils of him and like spray painting him on like my guitar cases. Like I used to spray paint my guitar cases a bunch. But I don't know if we would do like a Iron Maiden thing.
You can't. Nobody
Speaking
will ever
of.
be. Yeah, no mascot will ever be Eddie. I mean, it just won't. It will never happen again, right, Eric? I mean, yeah. It's like that's the pinnacle of metal mascots. So you just can't.
Really,
but
like, yeah, there wasn't really like an intended, like it wasn't intended to be like a mascot like esque thing, even though it does like completely look like it. But it was more of just like, all right, let's just make like the most fucked up album cover that's like so doesn't make sense in your face. Like yeah, all right, so there's this dude having a barbecue with like miniature humans somewhere in space with a playground behind him. Like, so that's kind of like the idea behind it, was just make the most absurd cover possible.
Yeah, we wanted it to be something eye catching, so it's
Yeah.
not like some basic album that wouldn't
Mhm.
catch your attention.
Right.
You know, you see like a pig cooking up humans in space. Like that's eye catching. You want
Yeah.
to
Wait, is he in space? I didn't even like.
Yeah, I did not realize he was in space
I
either.
don't think I
What? Is he in space?
see Earth in the background.
Yeah, you see like a bunch of planets in the background, and it's just
What, dude? I didn't know that. It's like a trip.
That album cover.
Yeah,
There's,
no,
like,
there is a
pickled
lot of
fetuses.
similar-
Yeah, I gotta get that thing on vinyl so I could like really look at it and be like, oh, like they're in
So
space.
he's in an alternate galaxy where
Yeah,
big
Alternate
people like that grill mini humans on the
Yeah,
Right.
different timeline, you know.
just a parallel universe.
yes,
Yeah.
parallel universe.
I did see Eric's always making fun of me for like, not making fun, but just always describes a lot of the stuff I like as knuckle dragging music, right? You've said that before. And I did notice that somebody did call you on one of your Bandcamp reviews knuckle dragging. So that sort of makes sense. How do we feel about that term?
Oh, I love it
Yeah,
personally.
I mean, I don't really feel like the whole like caveman, strictly beef dumb rips like makes sense in barbecue, but I guess you could say like smarter dumb riffs, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like for real. Like I don't think the riffs are like I don't know. I love that shit, like knuckle dragging shit, but I feel like that term gets kind of thrown around, even though like mad bands have like pretty technical riffs. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I can't explain what I mean.
But we have like a lot of like really hard parts in the song that like really show that we mix hardcore with death metal. That like,
Yeah.
really came
Yeah, like I guess I just don't know what like people mean by it. I think it just like is a primal thing. Like if it makes you
Yeah.
want to like, you know, like I totally fuck with that. I know I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah, like yeah, this music is supposed to be music you deadlift to.
For real, yeah,
And
definitely.
like there's like a good infusion between like low IQ riffs and this like riffs that you have to like actually think about. So that's our perspective on it.
The vibe is definitely caveman, but
Yeah.
the riffs are so fucking Megadeth. It's awesome.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't know if that the riffs I would describe as like low IQ. You know, like
Those fucking songs is like
not even that's like a negative thing. Like there's so many bands that I love where like the riffs are like not super tech, like for real.
Sure.
Like so many bands that I love like that. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
like
not at
Dylan said, it almost feels like more like that, how Dylan described it.
I guess now we're talking about the styles and stuff. Obviously we've got 6 songs written that nobody has heard yet, and we probably will hear them in like a year. What year? 6 months, 8 months, whatever. What can we expect from the new stuff?
Oh, so with a lot of the new stuff, we have some songs that are just straight up fucking like amazing catchy riffs, and we have others like there's one song we have coming out. We've played it live, so I'm not too worried about sharing it. We played it live tons of times. Spontaneous Human Combustion that we've written, and the breakdown near the end of that song, just it sounds straight out of like some like really just caveman shit, but at the same time it's still like in that smarter kind of area. It's like crazy mosh pits, dude.
Yeah, dude, every time we play that, Chris has gotten like a wall of death a few times every time we play that. It's like pretty sick.
Yeah, so I guess it's like the difference between the new LP and our self-released, our self-titled, is the formats of the songs are different. So like, it's more melodic. You could say, but it's not really like strict like all the songs aren't like off of a strict structure. It's kind of more like like
Yo, this death metal song sounds good. Let's put it on the album.
The riffs have kind of like their own sort of natural progression.
Yeah.
You listen to their songs
Yeah.
and they kind of take you someplace, whereas with the EP, it's it's kind of like a more of a pop song structure.
Yeah.
Verse, chorus, bridge.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly it.
I saw you're playing the Full Terror Assault. That's not a fest that I was totally familiar with, but there look like there was some good stuff on that coming in September.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
List is gonna be on there.
Oh yeah.
Pig Destroyer.
yeah. So the FTA is a festival where it's a 4-day event, and you go to this place called Camp Rock. It's in Illinois, and it's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and you camp with a bunch of dudes that love death metal.
Yeah, like
So-
Pig Destroyer.
The idea of it is so sick. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? Then they have an infusion of like so many different types of subgenres, and it kind of it's like a good form of like underground going up. Like a lot of unknown bands are on there, but then again, there's like last year Exodus was on there, Devourment. So it's a really good infusion of a lot of lesser known bands mixed with a lot of bigger bands that people know.
So, and they just called you up and asked you to come on?
So we've been 200 Stab Wounds played there last year, and ever since like they've been telling us about it, we're like, yo, we need to play this. It sounds so sick. So we kind of just been trying to find people who like know how to get on there, and we had a dude that knew a guy who knew a guy, which was the guy who is the person who puts together the festival. So we were able to reach out to him, and he was like, yeah, chill dude. He was like, yeah, well, let's put you guys on. And he's like, all right, sick. Our dude Dylan also has a thrash metal band called Assault, and they also got him put on there. And Owen Pooley, the drummer at 200 Stab Wounds, also plays in that band as well.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I saw the Assault connection. I didn't realize that there was a 200 Stab Wounds connection with Assault. So that's kind of
Yeah, dude.
interesting.
It's so cool because like I don't really know many other scenes like out of Ohio, but the Ohio scene is like so close together. There's so many like great bands that have so many people and other great bands in it as well that people just don't even realize, so it's really cool.
Yeah, like another tangent, but the Cleveland scene, if you ever like come here or look at like a lot of the bands and their like member lineups, you'll see that a lot of the bands are very like incestuous with their members. Like Devin Swank of Sangre Sugarbog is in like 5 other bands.
Right.
Dylan's in like 4 other bands. You'll
that's
see
what I'm saying,
how
yeah.
a lot of the people from the Cleveland are in a lot of different bands just all over Cleveland.
Right.
And I think that's just what makes our scene so closely compact with each other. Like, I can talk to one of the guys from Inoculation and talk to him at their other show with another one of the bands they're playing with,
Right.
and it's just all like good vibes there, man.
All I've ever wanted was to have a metal scene in my hometown
Yeah.
where everybody's friends and everybody parties
Yeah.
and everybody goes to each other's shows.
Yeah.
And, over the last 2 years to kind of see that come to fruition and to be lucky enough to be a part of the whole thing is like, I don't know. I couldn't ask for much more, but
Yeah.
here we are.
It's so sick too, because like the way that the death metal scene in Ohio is going, like it's literally not stopping. Like, it doesn't make sense. There's so many amazing acts. Like, it's a very prominent place. Obviously, like, I guess like it's like, I don't want to say like Tampa type stuff, but like it kind of feels like it because there's just so many great modern death metal bands coming out. Singing Sugar Block, 200 Stab Wounds.
People say that shit on Twitter. They're like,
Yeah.
Cleveland's the new Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I lived in Ohio. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? What do you mean? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yo, I said that. I said that to I like commented that on
You're
something.
different. You need to live in Ohio.
Yeah.
There's a difference between you and everybody
Yeah,
else.
everyone's like, I wish I'm telling you, just fucking go. Like, you can just go. You can just drive like 10 hours and you'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel Ohio is. We were just talking about. We just had inoculation on, so we were talking about that. But and I was saying like we've had like probably almost a dozen Ohio bands on, which is just very strange for me. You know, considering we're maybe only like 60, 70 shows into our interview channel. But yeah, crazy scene in Ohio. The only thing else I could think of is maybe like Colorado, where there's like seems to be like a ton of bands, but
Texas as well. Texas is a very good hotspot.
Texas,
for-
yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
no, that's true. We are seeing a lot of stuff come out of Texas.
Texas is so sick, always has been.
But you know, I think it's so important to have you know a scene, and you might think, oh shit, that's a lot of competition, but it never works out that way. It's
Yeah.
like-
I mean, yes. I like that you said that because like from a standpoint that's like you like from someone who's like not in Ohio itself, it's very like plausible to say that. But the people that are like in these bands are just so like we love each other. Like we want the best for everyone. Like we're always so tight knit with all these other bands, and like we like I guess like you know when people fuck over other people inside these bands, like everyone else kind of finds out, so we kind of just kick out all the assholes and like it's just all the cool people, you know what I'm saying? So
wow, I didn't realize that. Yes, that the assholes are getting kicked out. So that's
Yeah, I'm next. They're just gonna kick me out.
next. You'll never work in don't leave Mutilation Barbecue. You'll never work in Ohio again.
Right.
Move to Ohio.
No, but I mean, with a lot of these like sort of like famous scenes, you're like, oh shit, how is it that like these people, like these legendary bands, just happen to grow up with each other? But it's not a coincidence. It's like
yeah,
that's how they became legendary bands, is by having this intersecting thing, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe if Black Flag and Minor Threat don't like know each other and play with each other, maybe neither one of those bands like get, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's like all these bands support other bands, right? So we're kind of just like everyone goes to the shows and like we're just watching the different types of music that they're putting, like they're laying down, and we all are just like, you know, we're all with each other listening to all these different bands, and we're all just, you know, I don't really know like where I'm going with it, but
There's a lot of mutual respect
Yeah.
between other artists around here. You know, like I said, I mean, it's everybody's friends. So, you know, I mean, if it was just some whatever fucking band, you know, you might take that time to go take a shit or go get a beer or whatever. But like, you know, every time we play a show, it's all with our friends' bands, you know. So it's everybody's there, everybody's front row, everybody's fucking hitting each other and going crazy for, you know, just because we're friends.
Yeah, everybody's sick too. There's a lot of good musicians.
yeah.
Like for real. You know, everyone can play. That's like what's cool about being there. Is that like most, if not all, the bands just have like, you know.
I feel like you're going to be moving to Ohio very soon. I'm just saying.
It's so funny that's like our thing, that like we have this dude from Connecticut. Connecticut is such a random state, dude. Like
Awesome though. Like I feel like this the way that we found Peter, whatever the fuck that means, like the way that we connected is just so cool, and it's so pure, and it kind of like shows that music could really just put people across the country like together like that. And you know, like Peter came, like we don't know who this dude is at all. He came and we kicked it with him, and come to find out he's the coolest dude in the world, and like now he's like our best friend, and we care so much about him. You know?
Yeah, for real. It's
Oh.
kind of crazy. Like I just met these dudes like last year, but we've chilled so much now.
I feel
Right.
this is very
have
sappy. I
strong-
feel like
We have strong
Sappy as fuck, yeah.
it is sappy as fuck, but I love it.
No, dude, I fuck with that shit. I'm not even gonna like that's so
Oh, yeah.
sick.
It sounds
Like, I don't-
so dumb.
No.
But, like,
No, it doesn't. I fucking love you guys.
really
I love this happiness.
Yeah.
They're like my little bros. So I'm older than them too. We can just
Yeah.
get that out of the way.
Yeah, he's
Uh.
he's our grandpa.
There's so much in this band that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier when you were talking about being 15 in a band with 23-year-olds, I was like, fucking my kid, my oldest is 17, and if he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with 25-year-olds, I'd be like, the fuck you are.
Yeah, dude, you do not understand the mental, like my mental health diminished so much when I was in subtype, just because like nothing worked out, like this, like that shouldn't have happened, but like it did, and like it's so cool, but it's so messed up, but it's so cool. I don't even know, dude.
Harrison's lost his mind already.
Yeah. But I guess like music has always been like something like within my family personally, and you know, they gave me the opportunity to, you know, go out, play these shows, and I got my experience that I needed, and you know, I came out at the right time, and you know, and it all worked out at the end of the day. So
I came out at the right time.
I came out at the right time.
Hey, had some technical difficulties. I think we're back now. Everybody's on. So I think we're just gonna sort of wrap it up before everybody gets you know, loses their internet again.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? People you want to plug? Side projects we haven't talked about. Anything else we need to get in this thing before the internet drops out?
Listen to my band, Assault. We got a full length coming out this year.
Yeah.
Owen Pooley, the drummer from 200 Stab Wounds, plays with us. We talked about it a little bit, but
Wow.
it's hard. Follow us.
Also, Buell and Subtype Zero.
Beulah Buell. I only fuck with Beulah Buell.
Yeah, if we never would have met that dude, like probably Mutilation Barbecue would not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be Mutilation Barbecue.
It'd be some pizza thrash metal band.
Avenged Sevenfold.
So Assault.
Hey, fuck off.
Shout out Cleansing Humanity. That's this dude's other band.
Steve's in it from 200 Stab Wounds.
Steve's in it too.
What's
I'm
it called
just
again?
on drums.
Cleansing
Say that
Humanity.
Yeah, Cleansing Humanity.
Okay.
I'm filling in on drums while Steve's on tour. But yeah, besides that, that's it, Sergeant.
What's a funny story we could tell? There's so many.
Oh, also, if you want to listen to Pale Gaze, that's me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll put the Pale Gaze link in the description along with the stuff that we just said.
It's not as cool as any of the other things. but it's
you know, I
cool.
All right, you should have grilled
Well,
that.
okay. Let me corral this thing back in then.
I'm sorry, Chris.
No problem. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of my technical difficulties title card. They'll stick in there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But no, I really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm super stoked that Maggot Stomp is gonna start putting your stuff in and that you're getting your full length together.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. No, I had a really fun time. And anytime, you know, I'm on with a bunch of people who are busting each other's balls, I'm happy. That's my thing. I love it. So
Yeah, oh yeah, of course, man. Well, thank you for having us. Yeah, this is our first interview, so you took our
Interview virginity.
yeah, interview virginity.
Inner
This
virginity.
is the first ever interview, is it? Yeah.
No, we did the obscured sound.
Yeah, but that was like a zine. That wasn't a real interview.
okay. I'll whatever it is, I'll take it. Now, with all due respect to the other zine. But okay, yeah. Thanks for joining, everybody. Appreciate it. Keep in touch, and I'll see you later.
All right,
See
thank
ya.
you guys.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Have a good one.